First of all, they have Wilshire at full-back. Then they go Henry, Littler, Turner and Goulding. Ratchford is alongside Richard Myler. The forwards, it's Cashmere, Ulker, who's the captain, and Stapleton, Adamson, Parker and Swain. And on the bench, it's Sibbett, Luluai, Paul and Jewett. And the coach is Sean McRae. Now the Harlequins, it's Chris Melling at full-back. Then it's Gardner, Gaffer, Howell and Sharp, Dawn and Danny Orr. Will those two have the key to victory? Tomato, Randall and Ward in the front row. Williamson, Robinson and Purdom completing the starting 13 with Clubb, Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook, Ben Kay, who only got the nod late on because Daniel Heckenberg was originally named, and Jason Golden. That's the 17 then for the coach, Brian McDermott. Well, we have a trio of former Great Britain and Irish internationals in our commentary box today. Terry O'Connor, Barry McDermott and Brian Carney are all there. But first of all, we will hear from Ben Pro.
The Magic Weekend welcomes back Salford City Reds, who face a Harlequins side on a high after that stunning victory in front of those supporters in the Champions' backyard 8 days ago. Well, the Londoners claimed another of their best wins 2 months ago with a 48-18 win at Salford. But coach Brian McDermott will be keen to put last year's Magic fixture behind them when Quins led Catalan Dragons by 10 points with 10 minutes left, only to be pipped by a quick-fire double from Justin Murphy. Both teams emerge into this magnificent Murrayfield arena. Harlequins fans here in good numbers, Salford fans as well. Well, Salford lost their last two, Harlequins coming off that massive win. Barry, how do you see this one going?
I think me and Terry and Brian were talking before, it's going to be such an exciting game. Obviously it's the start of the Magic Weekend, we can't wait for it. I can't look too far beyond the Harlequins, having watched them against the Rhinos last weekend. I think it'll be the Quins by 2 scores. What about you, Tez?
This game is all about who can control the nerve, playing on the big stage, both of these teams sampling the atmosphere. There's a lot of fans in it. I'm sure it's going to be a right bell ringer to kick it off.
I'm with you guys. I'm looking at Harlequins to kick out towards the end of this game and come away maybe by 2 tries, Barry.
Gareth Hewer is today's match official, the video referee, incidentally Thierry Alibert, and it will be John Wilshire of Salford who will get this match underway. The first match of this year's Magic Weekend then, and Harlequins in possession with Carl Tomato. A Salford reception committee headed there by Craig Stapleton.
Go. Second.
More good work from Stapleton there as well. That time on Danny Ward.
Salford last week started really strong. They went into a 10-0 lead against the Hull side, but they've got to make sure that they keep on concentrating. I think that's a big thing that Sean McRae would have said to his troops. The likes of Ray Cashmere and Craig Stapleton, he wants them to lead from the front.
Chad Randall's kick is a good one because it sent John Wilshire back towards his own posts. The Papua New Guinean picks up possession now, and it's a good Harlequins chase. This time Danny Ward prominent alongside his captain there, Rob Purdom. This is Stuart Littler now for the Salford City Reds.
A statement of intent there by the Quins. I think they're keen to get in this arm wrestle. They don't want the Salford side to break out and get an early start, an early try. I think they're just keen just to knock out those sets, and it's whether Salford are willing to do the same.
Stapleton with the ball now for the Reds. Purdom with a tackle. Salford lost their last 2 against Hull, and at Catalan Dragons the kick straight down the throat of Chris Melling. And the former Wigan man returns it on halfway, so Harlequins will have a good set of 6 now in the Salford half of the field. This is Matt Gardner.
And that's the reward for defending and getting off the line, putting Salford under pressure. They received the ball, they're now attacking in the 40, on tackle 3. Good field position from this Harlequins side.
Will Sharp with possession 35 metres out. There's Danny Ward. They threw a lot of work in these opening couple of minutes. Randall, this time elects to go right to find Danny Orr. Further wide is Matt Gaffer. Trying to offload for Gardner, who pounces on the ball and keeps possession for his side. It's back to 1 is the verdict of Gareth Hewer. So a great chance now for Brian McDermott's side.
Quins will be delighted with that. Some more tackles in the bag, more chance. Just watch here now. Matt Gaffer tries to get that ball away and a Salford player knocks it down. 6 to go in the driving seat.
Tamata gets Harlequins 8 metres away. Short pass, Williamson. Luke Williamson is in for the first try of the Magic Weekend for Harlequins. It's a great start for the Londoners. They had a couple of sets of 6 and Brian McDermott will be delighted with this opening couple of minutes for his side. There's the fans that have travelled up to Scotland with them and they're delighted with Luke Williamson's first try of the season.
A real disciplined side, willing to get into the arm wrestle, this Quinn side, and that's what I really do like about them this year. They've got a right attitude to defend and they really do push for each other. A real good start, an enthusiastic start by the Quinn side. And this is all about pressure. You just got to keep on building the pressure, and that is just a real good line from Luke Williamson. Here's the attempt there. It was Mark Henry who knocked the ball down. They get a new set of 6, but Luke Williamson just comes back against the grain, runs hard, runs strong, and runs through Rob Parker.
Rob Purdham trying to improve that try from Luke Williamson. He's done that, and so Harlequins lead by 6 points to 0 early on at Murrayfield. Thanks to that try from Luke Williamson. Well, he was in Manly's Premiership winning side last year, missed the grand final, having been a losing finalist in the 2007 grand final, but that's a perfect start for Harlequins.
Harlequins are blessed with a hooker that gives them direction around the field in Chad Randall. Danny Orr and Luke Dorn can sit back, inject themselves into the game they want because they can feel comfortable. They got Chad Randall controlling the rope for them. It's a luxury.
Second kick-off for John Wilshere inside 4 minutes. It finds Carl Tamata again. Good tackle coming in from Alker and Littler there for the Salford City Reds. This is Danny Ward now.
We talked about Danny Ward before. His trademark is his work ethic and his work rate. He'll land on his front, he'll get that quick to play the ball and maybe get the rewards for the bloke at the back of him. There he is in your screen, Danny Ward, an excellent player.
Knock on though from Chad Robinson, and Salford have a chance to hit back here. Ray Cashmere in possession. Malcolm Alker goes left to find Stapleton.
Again, just looking at the player, difficult with the line speed to catch the ball and brace for impact. And he chose the latter to do first.
Salford then looking to reply to that Williamson try for Harlequins. Ratchford for Myler, and Myler finds Littler. Stuart Littler still stands in the tackle, trying to offload.
Allowed to offload while his arms are free.
Wilshere wants a quick play of the ball. He's found Littler again. Littler a little dab ahead, he couldn't get there in time. Harlequins clean that up well.
But that was the difference when Stu Littler was standing there. He needed someone to push up with him on his inside shoulder, his outside shoulder, and really come onto that ball like Luke Williamson did.
Well read by Chris Melling there. A knock on now for Harlequins. They put even more pressure on themselves. Matt Gaffer the guilty party, and Salford, who thought that attack had finished, have another chance now to attack that Quins line.
It's Will Sharp who actually drops the ball whilst he's playing it. Cardinal sin. His team now have to defend for their lives. They've got off to an excellent start, and in the opening 6 or so minutes, there's Will Sharp. He's come in.
Myler finds Ratchford, that half-back pairing for Salford today. Jeremy Smith unavailable. Robbie Paul does make the bench despite speculation he wouldn't be involved this weekend. This is Luke Adamson. Salford within 8 metres of that Harlequins line. Ratchford picks up and finds Parker. Rob Parker has 2 around him.
Tackle 3, move! Hold the line, 2 feet, go.
Alker waiting. Short pass. Stapleton close.
Nearly dropped Cashmere, nearly dropped it, close to the line, managed to keep hold.
There's Myler. Clever kick from Myler. Almost found Adamson. And then Ratchford is there to pounce on the ball, and Gareth Hughes is going to give a 4-pointer here. Stephen Ratchford with his second try of the season, and Sean McRae will be happy that they've managed to make that pressure pay. The repeat set following that Harlequins mistake. And Stephen Ratchford with his second try of the season.
The buzzword on everybody's lips about this Salford side is Richard Myler, showing on this occasion not only can he score tries, but he can set them up. Here we see the error. Will Sharp drops the ball whilst he's playing it. Just watch Richard Myler puts the delicate chip through. And it's just who's first to react. Again, a lovely weighted kick with his left foot. 3 Salford players, they're looking to get hold of the ball. I thought initially that Luke Swain wearing the headguard was taken out, and I've no doubt, had that try not been scored, it might have been a penalty for obstruction.
John Wilshere, 24 goals as you see this year in Super League. Try and 5 goals in that win at Headingley. This will level things up. He's managed to convert that try, and so Salford have pulled themselves back level at Murrayfield. It's Salford 6, Harlequins 6.
And they always say in rugby league, Ben, the kick is only as good as the chase. Now you've got to credit Luke Adamson. He puts an awful lot of pressure under Chris Mellinet. Stephen Ratchford following up and grounds that ball, but a neat little kick. Chris Mellinet had to contend with Luke Adamson. Where was the ball bouncing? Stephen Ratchford was aware where that ball was, and he scores and draws Salford back level with this Quins side.
Hold on side.
Stephen Ratchford on the wing in his last 4 matches. Moves to stand off today in the absence of Jeremy Smith.
First move. Hold.
Good work in defence from Luke Williamson there. And this is Littler now for Salford. Dunked on his back there by Danny Ward.
Wait, go.
Alka, this time for Jordan Turner.
Tackle 3.
Gapper with the tackle for Harlequins.
Go.
Alka again. Inside this time for Stapleton. He's looking to offload, but it's a great tackle from Rob Purdham that doesn't allow him to do that, and Alka has to pick up. Short ball. Flick back for Ratchford again. He's tackled by a combination there of Purdham and Chad Robinson.
Wait.
Last one for Salford City Reds. Kick
In the 40.
is away from Richie Myler. He's under a lot of pressure there, the youngster.
Great kick pressure, and that's why the Quins side were allowed to catch that ball on the full.
Stay. Go.
Just approaching the 40-metre line. Again, good field position for them.
Second move.
Will Sharp
Rob, with the foot.
on the second tackle for Harlequins. Matt Gardner now. Faced by Stapleton there, and
3.
Luke Adamson.
Jordan, 10 metres. Wait.
Randall waiting. Has possession now, and Tamata brought into it. Faced by opposite number Kashmir there.
Stewart, come on, Stewart. That's it.
Steady progress forward from Harlequins. Now, Danny Ward.
5. Move.
Stapleton with the tackle alongside Rob Parker there. This is Luke Dawn. Puts it on the boot. It's a rubber kick, but easy really for John Wilshere.
First. Rob, move.
And this is what Brian McDermott has built the success for this Quins side around the defence. Last week they were very unlucky not to nil the lead side, because Jamie Jones-Buchanan actually obstructed Rob Purdham when Rob Burrows scored the try. So it's a real disciplined outfit. They don't give many penalties away, but they've really got to start controlling the likes of Ray Kashmir. In the last set of 6, he's got 2 offloads off, and as the game gets on and the defences get weaker, Ray Kashmir will come more into this game.
Wait for the foot, wait.
Dummy from Luke Swain. This is Malcolm Alka. Stapleton caught in traffic. There's 3 of them there to bring him down and shut down the offload. Last one now for Salford. Malcolm Alka with the kick. Will Sharp well positioned there, and Sharp has pace, brings the ball back confidently there to the 40-metre line for Harlequins. Luke Dawn inside for Gardner again.
Second move.
Brother Adi Gardner, of course, will be playing for St Helens against Wigan later in this Magic weekend.
Tackle 3. Movement. Yeah, Luke. Wait for the
Chad
foot, wait.
Randall now
Go.
in possession for the Quins. Now Danny Ward spinning into the tackle of Alka.
Both of these sides now are just content to play it around the middle of the ruck, just take up and chew up them yardage. A good kick chase, really try and defend, force the error, and they're trying to make the opposition come up with an error so then they get the good field position. That's a good kick.
Play on.
Luke Dawn's kick for John Wilshere, and Wilshere comes back.
First move.
For those people at home who don't understand the benefits of catching the ball on the full, it means that you are directly on the front foot. You're able to chew up that yardage, as we keep saying. The aim is to hit the ground with the ball, allow it to be either up in the air or along the floor. Here we go. Or did he have a foot in goal there, Tez?
Caught it behind the line there. He's lucky not to get the 20-metre tap, the restart.
The man with the ball was tackled.
Proving sniping run from Malcolm Alker.
Ray Cashmere works hard. He's really making his name in this Salford side. He's dyed in wool now as a Salford player.
Last one for Salford, and Ratchford gets the kick away.
Go and give him 10.
Under the toe of Will Sharp initially. He's turned around, got possession, but the Salford tacklers are breathing down his neck there, and Ratchford effects the tackle. Myler in there as well. Oh, it's David Howell.
Second.
That's Salford's best set of the game so far. They get to the 50 and then a great kick that finds ground. They were finding Harlequins players in the last two sets, so they got to do more and more of that, but they're finding it difficult to come out of their half without Jeremy Smith. Jeremy Smith's got a great passing and organising game, so there's a lot going to fall on two young shoulders today to try and get Salford into this game.
Stay.
Yeah, Stephen Ratchford 20, Richie Myler 18. This meanwhile Chris Melling for Harlequins.
Good, here we go.
Kick from Randall.
Chad Randall's gone the short side for a kick there. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
Last tackle.
He's 5 metres, although he was looking to kick across, maybe across the grain, get into some open space.
So Harlequins now will start this set of 6. Salford in the Harlequins half.
Go.
Yeah, Salford very flat at this point. You're right, Brian.
Second.
Nobody there, no midfield general
Hold.
pointing, pushing, making his players do what
Clear the ruck.
he wants them to do. Although the
you're
Quins
back in
don't
there,
help
good
their
move.
cause, just trying to slow it down a little bit too much.
David Howell it was.
Okay, Paul.
Guilty of interference there, as Rob Parker wanted to play the ball.
Hands over the top.
And that's a poor penalty. This is what we say about building pressure. You can't give silly penalties away like that
10
and
metres.
invite Salford into your own territory.
Sean McRae watching on, the former Scotland coach, of course. This is Ratchford who finds Swain.
Second. Hands out.
Luke Swain plays it 10 metres away from the line. It's a good opportunity this for Salford. Cashmere looking to offload. He's found Stapleton, and a good pass from Stapleton finds Richie Myler. Myler comes back the other way.
Tackle 3.
3 gone for Salford.
2 feet.
Good tackle from Robinson. Stapleton now.
That's 4.
Patient build-up again from Salford. Now it's Myler, and Myler's kick is a teasing one. Myler is first to it.
He's got that.
That's a fantastic contribution from Richie Myler. It didn't look to be a lot on. It was a teasing grubber kick, and the number 7 was there to pounce on it for his 9th try of the season. Got a try in the defeat at Hull last week. That was his 34th in 42 starts. Prolific marksman, and Richie Myler puts Salford ahead at Murrayfield.
People say this lad's a star of the future. He's a star of now for this Salford team. He's the go-to player. He seems to try and weave magic out of nothing, and this Quinn side have got to really improve their discipline. He takes the ball to the line. He just puts a neat kick in again, and again, just follows up, and it's that urgency in his run. He looks up, he plays what he sees. And it was Chad Randall who just hesitated at the last minute. Richie Myler just took the ball to him. The offload again from Stapleton. This is the 4th time that he's got the ball away from Cashmere, sorry. He passed the ball to Stapleton, and it's the next play. And this is why this lad is such a hot property in rugby league at the minute. He's young, he's British, and he's talented.
You'd imagine Brian McDermott's going to be furious with that. I've no doubt they spoke about him all during the week. He is a handful.
John Wilshire to extend the Salford lead.
No.
His first miss, but Salford still ahead by 10 points to 6.
Salford are playing the game at the right end of the pitch. We saw Ray Cashmere pass the ball whilst he was on his knees. He's allowed to do that as long as his arms don't touch the floor, as long as he can get the pass away. Just look at this here. Fantastic work from Ray Cashmere. Soft and gentle in name, but tough and uncompromising.
But you'd think now that teams that have played against him, every week that he seems to play, he gets 5, 6, 7 offloads away. And that's what Salford are thriving on.
He's a big man, Tez.
And again, look at his kick return. He's big, he's strong, he keeps on pumping his legs. He's the real thing.
2 feet.
I was looking at his feet the other day. He must have size 14 feet.
Second. Let's get
He's got
square.
big hands as well.
Marker.
This It's swaying meanwhile for Salford City Reds. Chad Randall clings onto his ankles there. That was an important tackle, but it's a quick play the ball for Malcolm Alker. Now Jordan Turner for the Reds.
Movement! Stay. Go.
Looking for back-to-back tries here. Now Craig Stapleton.
That's 5. Move!
Last one though coming up for Salford. Comes back for Ratchford. It's a huge kick from Stephen Ratchford. Chris Melling under this. Good positioning from the former Wigan fullback there. Appreciated by this crowd.
And well taken as well under the pressure from the Salford players. But look at the urgency in this Salford side.
2 feet line, Stu.
There you go, Chris Melling. Whoa, yep, catches it, takes it on, and a good chase there by Mark Henry. But look at the defensive effort. This is where you win games.
Go.
Salford trying to keep Harlequins penned into this area of the field. 4 gone already for the Londoners. It's Danny Orr who finds Tamata.
Clear. Work here, Rob. Wait for the foot. Wait. Go.
Danny Orr again moving into that acting halfback position, and Randall has time to get the kick away.
Play on.
Wilshire stationed accurately once more.
First.
Faced by Luke Dawn there.
Move. Hold.
This is Daryl Goulding now for Salford.
Second. Movement.
Great Easter for the City Reds, back-to-back wins over Warrington and at Headingley. That came after 6
That's 3.
consecutive defeats.
Move.
Only Celtic below them in the table, of course. Malcolm Alker, meanwhile, it's the ball away.
Tackle 4.
It's Luke Adamson who had 3 for company there. Kashmir
5.
for Salford, last one coming up.
To your feet. Let's go.
Alker goes left, finds Ratchford.
Play on.
Dinks a kick in. Might hold up in the in-goal area there, but good judgment really from Chris Melling. 20-metre restart.
Just a little bit too deep there from Ratchford, and that's what they didn't want, although some coaches actually want the players to put it out, to slow the game down, get a defensive line set, and away we go.
Second.
Harlequins.
Stuart Little, 10 metres.
Big win at the Willows a couple of months ago. They led 30-0 after 34 minutes. It's a different match today. 19 minutes gone, just 4 points ahead.
That's 4.
In possession.
Wait for the foot. Wait.
With Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook on from the substitutes bench. Danny Orr's kick. Wilshire on that far side retrieves it. But Melling's done well. Led the charge and trapped his man quickly.
Harlequins certainly aren't showing their hand, are they? They're content to do dummy half runs, one-out hit-ups without Luke Dorn or Danny Orr really getting involved in this game at this early stage. Well, it's an early stage, 20 minutes into the game, and we haven't seen anything of Luke Dorn or Danny Orr in attack yet.
Movement.
Would that be though, Brian? Because they've really been penned back in their own half, their own 20, their own 30. The forwards haven't been dominant enough from the first 5 minutes of the game, and they haven't really got the platform to build on.
That's true, Salford have done well, but there's a couple of sets that Harlequins have had starting on the halfway, and yet they're still doing dummy half runs and one-out drives, so maybe it's an interesting tactic. Maybe they're going to try and force a mistake out of Salford coming off their own line.
Ratchford put that kick in, and it was he who was first to Will Sharp there. This is Chris Melling for Quins.
Second. Move. Go.
Now Randall. To David Howell this time. Luke swaying around the legs, Alker up top. Randall for Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook again. Almost to halfway for Harlequins. This is Tony Clubb, another of the substitutes for Brian McDermott this afternoon. Dawn stinks a kick in. It's a great kick for touch as well. They will take the position and hunt the mistake, Harlequins.
It's just a very patient game from both sides. Just prepared to just keep knocking those sets out. And it might be uninteresting for those people who are expecting the free-flowing rugby league that we should have on this great stage, but I'm sure that will come.
Shot there of Brian McDermott, a Challenge Cup winner here against Leeds 9 years ago. Not a particularly good memory for Barry.
Why did you smile when you said that to me, Ben?
Everybody was smiling, Barry.
This is Adamson for Salford, faced by Rob Purdham. Alker Now it's
Movement. Wait. Go.
Jewett who plays it for Alka. Good
That's 4.
Harlequins defence though, led by the captain there, Rob Purdom. Jewett again.
5. Move.
And last one now coming up for Salford.
Go.
Finds Richie Myler in the kick.
Play on.
Successful one. He was under pressure again, but Matt Gardner stationed well.
Play on.
And that was a better defensive set off the Quinn side. The Salford side only managed to gain 24 metres in 5 efforts there with the ball. And again, just the simple plays.
Second.
Trying to march downfield, trying to get some energy back into the legs and to the body.
Harlequins enjoy playing away from the capital. They've won 4 of 5 away in Super League this seaseason. Only loss came at Huddersfield. This is Rob Purdom looking to get the offload away.
That's 4.
Trapped by Luke Swain. Good work to clamp the ball down there
Too slow.
initially, and then he's given the penalty away because he took too long.
Luke Swain it was. Rob Purdom went really direct, strong, landed on his front. And again, really hard and strong by this Quinn side.
2 feet line.
Good opportunity for Harlequins to get their second try of the afternoon. Luke Dawn back on the inside for Tony Clubb.
Short. Second. Move.
A couple of metres away there, the substitute, Randall. This time for Luke Dawn. Fumble from Danny Orr. Initially I thought it had gone backwards, the referee has.
The referee
Pulled
called
him up.
backwards.
It's a knock on and a great chance for Quins, goes begging there.
Well, is this a knock-on? He had his back
There we are, lads.
to the
Come
line.
round.
Had his back to the line, he brought it forward, it hit his leg and then went backwards.
Yeah, it is. That's a knock-on. That's the correct decision. He fetches it forward, doesn't he?
But they had really good shape out there, and if Danny Orr would have caught that ball, you'd really think a try was on for the Quinn side.
Most teams in rugby league use 3 points. They use both scrum lines, left and right, and the middle. And it looks like London are setting at the left-hand scrum line to hit Salford on their right.
And again, that word urgency, Tony Clubb gets the ball back. He was the first to react to the mistake from Salford.
It was Daryl Goulding who lost possession for the Reds, and it's another good opportunity for Harlequins, having squandered one a couple of moments ago. Randall, now for Danny Orr. This is Chris Melling. Melling through one, Ratchford desperately clinging to him. He's only 4 metres away, and they've tackles in the bank, Harlequins. Danny Orr, Rob Purdom. Good tackle from Rob Parker. Now Randall again. To the right-hand side for Melling again. This is Matt Gaffer trying to cut inside.
Tackle 5.
Tackle comes in from Jordan Turner. Last one for Harlequins. Matt Gardner finds Danny Orr. Danny Orr's grubber kick allowed to go inside or in between the posts, but Richie Myler totally in control of that situation and makes the field of play as well.
And again, it's that man Myler. He knew, he anticipated that kick was coming from Danny Orr. He positioned himself really well behind the post. It was a tough ball to catch.
Clear the rock.
Stuart Littler did an important job there, Tez. I think it's Luke Dawn, just as you can see him coming. He just body checked him. He's allowed to do that if he's running the same way.
25 minutes gone and a real arm wrestle developing at Murrayfield. Patient build-up on both sides, and Luluai has it for Salford. Finds Wilshire.
Clear. Hold the 10. Hold.
Last one
Go.
for the Reds. They're on their own 30-metre line, so
Clear. Play on.
crucial that kick was successful from Ratchford. He was under huge pressure as well, but Will Sharp has space, and Will Sharp is quick. He cuts, or tries to get away, I should say, from Adamson.
Move.
And it's Swain who comes in and effects the tackle.
Go.
But you'd rather be direct though. You wish that Will Sharp would just go straight, try and get the play the ball, try and get the quick play ball for you guys behind you who are going to follow it on tackle 2, 3 and 4. It's very important that you win the first tackle in rugby league.
Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook adopts the direct approach there, finds Chad Randall, or plays the ball to Chad Randall. This is Rob Purdom now.
Movement. Wait.
Put to ground by Swain there. Randall for Luke Dawn, back on the inside, great ball for Clubb, and Clubb further on for Melling, and if Melling had taken that in, that was a real opportunity for the former Wigan man. Brian McDermott knows it. They created the chance, and Chris Melling just couldn't take the ball in.
I think you see Luke Dawn now starting to push himself into this game. Danny Orr in the previous set showed his hand. Those two can start firing, they're going to cause a lot of trouble for this Salford defence.
There is Chris Melling, a try in the 2008 Millennium Magic defeat by Catalan in Cardiff. Salford waiting to restart play with this scrum. Sun shining at pitch side.
It's a beautiful day, lovely conditions. We're all a little bit worried about this bank holiday, maybe that might rain, and obviously there's 7 games, one after another, but so far so good.
Second, move.
And so far so
2
good
feet line.
for Salford City Reds. 4 points ahead as Malcolm Alker, the captain,
Third.
takes the ball up
Hold the Louis.
for Sean McRae's side. Lee Jewett now.
Fourth, move.
4 gone for Salford. Alker inside for Philip Luluai. Drives those legs, drives Tony Clubb back.
Wait.
8 metres short of halfway. Last one coming up for Salford. Alker for Ratchford.
Give him 10, we're in front.
Kick is a difficult one for Will Sharp, who just traps it with his foot and then charges back at this Salford defence.
First. Phil with me. Wait, go.
Melling. Now it's David Howell.
Second, move. I'll leave Phil, wait, let's go.
Matt Gardner now.
Tackle 3.
Nailed by a combination of Alker and Luke Swain there. Now Tony Clubb.
Held. 4. Hands out. Go.
Solid drives forward from Harlequins, and then Luke Dawn in possession and puts a kick in. Again, John Wilshere,
Surrender.
well positioned.
I'm not sure either coach will be happy with the kicking game. If they put it up in the air, both sides this is, if they put it up in the air, it gets caught on the full. If they put it on the ground, then it's an easy thing to do. I think both sets of coaches will want to get their teams in at half-time and give them a good talking to. It's a patient game, and both teams showing the patience of a farmer, but I'm sure it's not very interesting to watch at home.
Fourth. Hands out.
You'd have to say Salford are struggling to get out of their own half and have a kick from the from inside the Harlequins half. It's they're doing it really tough to get any. They're kicking to Harlequins, not kicking at them, which is a huge difference. And Harlequins are kicking at Salford instead of kicking to them, which is what you'd prefer.
That kick fielded by Chris Melling.
First, move. Hold.
Salford without Jeremy Smith. He should be back next weekend, as should Willie Talau, who could return in that Challenge Cup match.
With me. Let's go.
So 2 pluses for Salford as Will Sharp takes the ball forward for Harlequins now.
The worrying thing for this Quinn side and Brian McDermott is they've got no shape off the ball. They seem to be really attacking this left-hand edge. That's a good
Great
ball.
ball from Dawn, finds David Howell. Howell has some space, he's cut back inside, away from Philip Luluai. Eventually grounded by Lee Jewett.
Go.
4 tackles gone for Harlequins, and Danny Orr just sticks a kick over the top. That could cause confusion, but great work from Wilshere. He must have called for that as Ratchford was in front of him, and Wilshere eliminates the danger for Salford.
And good positioning from Wilshere. He had a real shocker last week against Hull, especially trying to retrieve those kicks, the high ones, the low ones. But the Quinn side, you can see the kick here. Wilshere ever alert, gets the ball for the Salford side, but I think this Quinn side are really trying to target Richie Myler, take some of his energy away when he's got the ball, making him come up with wrong decisions when he does have it.
Mark Henry played the ball and John Wilshere got the kick away. Look, the sun was a little bit of a problem there for Will Sharp as he fielded that.
First, move.
There's your direct hit up, Terry. We've got Robbie Paul on now, changing the half-backs. Maybe Robbie Paul giving the kicking duties.
And you know it's warm out there because a lot of these Quins players are putting their hands up to the bench, saying they need to come off, and the retreat to get behind the ball and bring it back. They seem to be really struggling with energy.
Robbie, wait for the foot. Wait. Go.
Milestone for Robbie Paul. It's his 400th appearance in British Club Rugby League today as Rob Purdham is away for Harlequins.
Go.
Inside the danger zone as far as Salford are concerned. Luke Dawn, a former Salford City Red, of course. And Tony Clubb spins away. Clubb has pace. Adamson clings on and Clubb has strength. And Clubb will score for Harlequins. Tony Clubb with the second Harlequins try. Great work initially from Rob Purdham to make the break. That field position capitalised on by Tony Clubb, who gets his 3rd try of the season. Trying his last start at Celtic Crusaders, and now a try from the bench at Murrayfield.
What you want from your bench is a bit of impact, and Tony Clubb has done that. He's just run as straight and as hard as he can. He just hits that hole, keeps his legs pumping, get out the way, here we go, sidestep off your left, off the right. And that is just sheer power from the big lad. He's a real find, he's a raw talent, and this is just sheer strength. Steps off left, off right, leaves Wiltshire for dead. And that is just sheer determination that gets him that try.
He must have gone to the gym, he's looking ripped.
Rob Purdham successful with his first attempt. This to put Harlequins in the lead. It's 12 points to 10 for the Londoners.
That's a result of tiring out the Salford forwards. They've targeted them up the middle, they've sent their wingers at them, they've sent their props at them, and you're now looking at some very tired defenders in the middle. Up steps Luke Dorn, puts him in through. That's what they just picked on tired defenders, weak defenders, only because they're tired.
And that's what we say about field position all the time. It's very hard to defend your line and really get off. You can only get off your line. The first 3 steps is what rugby players talk about when you're defending in the opposition's 30.
Sean McRae slightly less happy now. His tenure as the Scottish coach included a loss in Edinburgh to Samoa. Kick from Wiltshire, fielded by Harlequins in the shape of Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook there, who's driven backwards. A good hit coming in from Phil Luluai. Now it's Jason Golden, another substitute for Brian McDermott this afternoon.
Hold, go.
Randall looked like he was going to use the short side, gone himself, faced by Luluai again.
That door was well and truly shut by Philip Lulai and Lee Jewett.
Hold, go.
Melling finds Orr. And this is Tony Clubb.
Fourth, movement. We have Stu, wait for the foot, go.
Danny Orr. Luke Dorn now.
Outside, play on.
Dorn's kick almost bounced over that sideline.
That's a good kick and a good chase.
And this, Brian, is this the hardest place to come out? If you kick to the corners, you've only got one way to come out of it as a winger.
It's difficult, and it's an easier position to defend from, but Salford are tired getting back. I'm just looking at some of their forwards, they're slow to get back.
And just going back to that, Brian, Tez said he'd prefer a winger to run straight and hard. Would you say it's better to run around rather than through?
It's very difficult when you're coming off the sideline. That's why it was such a good kick. There's only one way to go when you're coming off the sideline. You've got to go sideways a little to try and get forward, if that makes sense.
Wait, Rob, let's go.
Perfect sense to me.
Harry, stop shaking your head.
Robbie Paul
Move!
directing operations there from acting halfback. Speculation, as I say, that he would have missed this game with some shoulder neck trauma suffered last week. It's a real plus for Sean McRae that he's out there now. Will Sharp for Harlequins though.
And he led that chase in his enthusiasm now, and watch him from marker. Even at the ripe old age that he is, he's still going to show his troops, he's still going to show his teammates that they need to up the levels of enthusiasm.
33 now, Robbie Paul. Skippered Bradford to that Challenge Cup success here.
All right, Ben, drop it.
Go.
Sorry, Barry, this is Matt Gardner.
Tackle four.
What did he do again, Ben?
Put him on. Stephen.
Henry Paul got man of the match, I know.
Go.
Tony Clubb finds, elects to go himself in the end as Ian Sibbett comes in.
Work it around the Robbie. A bit past him, mate.
Ben Kay for Dawn, and Dawn's kick into the middle of the pitch this time, and Ratchford is there. Stephen Ratchford immediately closed down there by Rob Purdham, the Harlequin skipper. Mark Henry now is trying to get Salford away from this danger area. It's been a really tight contest this to open the Magic weekend. Only 2 points the difference. Goulding takes it up now for Salford.
Hold. Go.
Robbie Paul. Now Lee Jewett.
Play on.
Luluai. Wiltshire.
They're really willing to promote this ball at all costs, aren't they?
Good pass from Paul, finds Myler, and Myler's kick.
Again, we see Salford forced into the defensive kick after they've received an attacking kick from Harlequins. They just can't seem to get far enough down the field to be in a position to attack Harlequins with the kick.
Will Sharp again for Harlequins.
But for them to do that, Brian, they've got to work harder in defensive in this area of the park, haven't they?
Absolutely, they've got to restrict Harlequins' yardage.
Tackle 3.
Terry, I take your point about Will Sharp as well. You can't help but feel when you look at him, if he was to run a fraction straighter, he'd be going straight over the top of people. He looks strong enough and big enough.
Wait for the foot. Wait.
Direct run there from Ben Kay.
Go.
Dawn finds Louis McCarthy. Scarsbrook, good offload from Scarsbrook, finds Golden. Two substitutes combining there. This is a great chance for Harlequins to go further ahead. Gaffer back on the inside for Matt Gardner, and the ball comes away from his grasp there, and Wilshire can counter for Salford. John Wilshire roared on by the red section of this crowd.
0.
It was a shame for the Quins. That a glorious offload from McCarthy Scarsbrook. Massive admirer of him.
Wait.
Lovely little inside flick and a loose carry. That's all it is, pure and simple. Lack of concentration on a loose carry. Tuck it into your chest.
Second.
Do your job.
Move. Stay.
Look at that for a play, for an offload.
Salford
Third.
have possession. 3 tackles gone already.
All the 10, Rob.
3 minutes left in the half. This is Robbie Paul. Already made an impact since his introduction.
Stay, fella. Wait. Good.
Myler back for Ratchford. Goes to the air again, Stefan Ratchford. And it bounces horribly for Danny Orr. Where's the Salford chase?
We're in front.
Offside, the Salford players.
No, it's within the 10.
But even if they were offside, you never, ever
Penalty,
let the ball
offside.
bounce.
This is Stefan Ratchford at his best. Kicks it up and puts some real height on it. Just watch this, just watch how high it goes up.
Yeah, fellas with me. Stefan.
Problem is, when you're going to stand that deep to kick, it's going to be very, very difficult
And
to...
that's why all his mates were offside. That's
Exactly.
true, Brian.
Mark Henry, who was penalised, and so Harlequins
Move.
start this set of 6 in the Salford half. Tony Clove has a new shirt on.
Second. Move. Wait.
Ben Kay
Wait. Go.
waits, the former Leeds man, of course.
Tackle 3. Movement. Hold it, Luke. Wait for the foot. Let's go.
Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook for Ben Kay again. Now Danny Orr and Rob Purdham.
That's 4. Move.
Tackle from Luke
There
Adamson.
he is. Robbie, wait for the foot. It's good.
It's 20 metres away now, Quins. Danny Orr's kick over the top. Well fielded by Darryl Goulding, and Goulding turns defence into attack. Approaching the final 60 seconds. Salford in possession, but a long way from the Harlequins try line.
Second.
But Luke Dawn and Danny Orr are really coming into this game, probing around the ruck, directing the big forwards where they want them to go, what sort of field position they want them to get in, to come up with little neat kicks like that.
This
4.
is Luke Swain, who plays the ball for Robbie Paul. Now it's Jewett, and Jewett escapes the net. Lee Jewett, good offload as well for Robbie Paul, and Paul was trying to smuggle the ball away again. They know the clock is ticking. Last one coming up for Salford. Ratchford to his left was Sibbett, and not the best pass, and a chance for Salford.
Unfortunate that for Salford, very unfortunate. Excellent work from Lee Jewett. After good leg drive, unfortunately skills can't match the ambition. After good leg drive, Lee Jewett gets out the tackle and gives it to Robbie Paul. We're starting to see a few open spaces now, and you're right, Brian, you made the point earlier, tiredness comes into play.
I think this break is going to suit Salford a lot more than will Harlequins. I think Harlequins would like to keep playing this half.
Second.
This
Move.
is Rob Purdham for Quins. It's going to be the last play, so Luke Dawn goes to the air. Sensible option from Luke Dawn, but that kick is just too strong, and a really tight game to start the